Good evening.
My name is Renata. My name is also Renata, but my real name is Bumsy. And so my mother called me Bumsy, and that suits everybody. My family who know me well call me Renata, and my Uncle D called me Bumps all the time. Rarely did he call me Renata or Renata. And when we talk about D, we have to look at and think about how devoted he was to his family, because D loved all of us. And I always say to kind of tick everybody off, I'm the favorite niece. And I really am. I'm not going to tell them. But it's a lot of us. My grandfather was married twice, and between those two wives, he had 11 children. And I have always been the apple of the eye, all of my aunts and uncles. So I just need to let you know them and their wives as well. And so D is devoted. He's an exceptional individual, and he has always been encouraging to us, whether he was in the role of an uncle, a brother, a father, a grandfather, counselor, friend, or cousin. He was a spirit-filled man who was always willing to share the gospel, regardless of who you were or where he was. And he was assured quite a long time ago, he was not one to push or pressure you into anything, but when he spoke with you, he had a kindness, a softness, a genuine way of saying what he had to say. So you couldn't argue. So you had to listen. And all of his words were words of encouragement, words of love, direction. He could tell you you were wrong, and you would feel bad for thinking that you were wrong because he didn't raise his voice. And so we have another cousin named Michael, and Michael has since left us. But Michael, Dee, and Angelo together were a trio that you really let them stay fishing by themselves, because they had a unique relationship, but they all loved fishing, and they all loved to play jokes with everybody. So we had that. Dee was in the Air Force, and I had my Uncle Harry, Keith, Dee, and Mike were all in the military. So I got gifts all the time from around the world. And so they always thought about my mother, my auntie, and they thought about everybody in the family. Dee's whole thing was to have family around him. We had cookouts, events. And when he moved to Charleston, we were all a little bit sad, but we also had some times that we could visit or he could visit us. And he was a master of loving each of us. So when we talk about a scholar of the word, that was his nature. And maybe he got that along the way from my granddaddy. Maybe God just touched him separate and apart from all of us so he could make a difference in everyone's lives. I remember Dee coming home when he was in the military, and he had all of these albums, and some people might not even know what an album is. But he loved Lou Rawls. And of course, he was just a few years older than I was. I did not want to hear Lou Rawls. And so it got to the point that I knew a lot of Lou Rawls songs just because he played them. He loved Nina Simone, he loved jazz, and he loved fishing. And so I never thought that I wanted to eat the fish that they caught. But they would catch a lot of fish and have a lot of fun. He was always willing to listen, and when he got sick, I was in Phoenix. So they called me to say he was sick, and then I kept worrying everybody because I wanted to know what was going on. So of course, you all know it's a big time difference between here and Phoenix. I was up and my phone rang. And he said, "What you doing?" And all I could do was start crying. I said, "I've been praying about you." And he started laughing, and then he started talking, and we just kind of went from thing to thing. And I thought, thank you, God, because he is still here with us. Because when I got the call, I was excited, upset, everything, because I was so far away. So I told him that my cousins were coming from Chicago and Maryland. They were coming down. And he said, "So when you come?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't need to come because they all come." And he said, "Yeah, so when you come?" coming? I said, well, I'm coming. So I was real glad that Diane and Carmen were at the hospital with Dee and I, because I had my own time with him. And we talked. We talked about all of the things that has happened in our lives as a family, our individual lives, and where we were now. And we talked about how all of that was because God loved us. And so I received an award last year, and I was telling him, I don't know how God did that, because God will take nobody and make him somebody. And he said, Bumps, sometimes God gives you a dribble, and sometimes it's a splash. And I said, that really makes sense, D. I said, but he got to stop splashing me, because I don't respond well to this. And he said, you did okay. So on Thursday, I got a phone call. It was my Uncle D. He said, Bumps, just want you to know I love you. I said, yeah, I love you too, because you love me in spite of me. He said, but I'm going home. And I'm going to see you again. I said, well, I ain't coming in this week. And then he said it again. When I got off the phone, I told my husband I don't like that conversation. Because I knew him well enough to know that he was ready. And God had already tapped him to let him know, so he could call all of us to tell us that he was going home. And he said it with an assurance. He said it with an appreciation. And he said it in a loving manner. And then on Saturday morning, I got my call. And I thought it was a little bit selfish that I was weary because he was gone. But then I remember he said, I'll see you again. And I thought, Lord, I got a chance now. Maybe he can put in a few good words for me. Because I tell people in a minute, sometimes you need other people to pray you up. You don't have to pray around, but you need some help. And Dee was good about praying, because he didn't just throw things at you. He responded to you in a manner in which he understood your maturity and your relationship with God. We have a pretty big family. And I just want you to know we have as many personalities in our family as there are people in this room, if not more. But Dee was a perfect fit. You couldn't ask for anything more. And I told Celeste's kids that I was the boss. Right now, at this moment, I'm probably the oldest niece in the room, so I can take that. But we all have something to do, because Dee says something to all of us. As a family, as friends, we have to remember everything he said. And I know God is good enough to bring it all back to our memory so we can do what he wants us to do. He was proud of his grandchildren, and the night when Celeste was introducing me to her sons, who I hadn't seen in about 8 or 9 years. And I told him, I already know all about you, I heard all of that. I get a report. Every time you talk to Dee, you hear about the children, you hear about the grandchildren. And when you talk to Dee or Carmen, it's like talking to the same person. So when you have that kind of unity, that kind of love, that kind of appreciation, you have to omit some things so you can only think about the positive things that build relationships, build love. And we all have to remember Dee, because it would not be worth our while to say we know him and love him and not appreciate what he's passed on to us. And so our family has some work to do, but our family knows what the work is. And part of that work is loving each other and remembering the jokes, the laughter, the fishing, the music, and his devotion, his encouraging words, and his exceptional love for his family and friends. Thank you all for coming, and I'm glad we all appreciated Dee together. And hopefully, He'll see all of us again.